Okay, so we in the 21st century, y'all. We gotta stop acting surprised. Like, stop acting surprised that you beef with your mother, you beef with your father, you beef with your siblings. And you may haven't necessarily done anything to them, but love them genuinely. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. These people cannot meet you in the middle. I always say it's just a character flaw. Got nothing to do with me. If you don't know how to be kind to others, just because we're family does not give you a right to be disrespectful, to be abusive, to be mean and nasty. It never stopped baffling me how people act like they'll never meet God, especially those that are faithfully in church every week. You act like you'll never meet God. If we lived like we would meet God tomorrow, the day we woke up, I'm sure a lot more people would try to do better. But the issue is most people don't really believe in God. And that's their problem, not necessarily your problem at all. Stop. We are in the 21st century. It's time out to be so confused, so hurt and down and out about why you beef with your mother, why you beef with your father, why you beef with your siblings. A man's enemies are those of his own household. Man is unisex, the way the Lord is giving it to us in the word. For a son dishonors his father. A daughter rises up against her mother. A daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies are the members of his own household. The problem is never an outsider. But it's wild, right? How when you coming up, even in school, they always stranger danger. Don't do this with strangers. Yeah, strangers can be dangerous. Absolutely. A lot of harm and danger to children. But the biggest harm that I've seen and I've witnessed are neglectful parents. They give you away to the wolves freely, long as it's not their favorite child or favorite children. Beware of these people. Don't grow to keep hating people. I always say this because it's just like, nobody's that important to live that free in my mind. If I spend time hating you as a person, I'm giving you too much space in my mind, and life is beautiful. I could be thinking about animals. I like animals. I could be thinking about God's creations and all kinds of colors and things of that nature. You know, don't let people live rent free in your mind. Don't hate people. Forgive them. Meaning this. Understand that they're human and they're flawed. And one day you may need forgiveness as well because you're not perfect. That's it. That's it. Nobody deserves to live for free in your mind. As soon as your mind go back to something. And this is for my people that are on their healing journey just like I am. And it's like things from your childhood comes back to the forefront of your mind. You didn't even ask for it. So I tend to say, God, what is it you want me to learn from this situation? Because everything happened for a reason. Why is this memory coming back to me? It's not like you asked for these things. I didn't ask to remember what somebody did to me, what people said to me as a child. I didn't ask to remember that. Why is this coming back to me? I don't believe that these things come back to our minds to deter us or so that we can have hate stirred up in our heart all over again. I just look at it like, yep, that did happen. They did say that. I remember that clearly. But hey, God bless them. You're not living rent free in my head and I'm being angry with you. Nobody can say, oh, no, they don't live rent free. How come every time you talk about these people, you wishing death on them or you hate them? They live rent free. Nobody lives rent free in my head. It's other things I could really be thinking about. Every day, I'm building the life I want. Every single day. I don't have time to be thinking about things that almost destroyed me because I was a child. The enemy is never somebody we don't know. It's always people you know. Children that grow up SA, It's always somebody in the household or someone that's friends of the family. Snakes hide easy around other snakes. Know that. Know that. Know that. Speaking from experience. Speaking from experience on that. And we ain't going to go into my story. But speaking from experience. The issue never came from somebody outside. It always came from within the household. And I don't feel bad after reading my word more. It's a normal thing. So can we stop crying about parents in 2025? Can we stop crying about siblings, grandparents, aunts, uncles, or who? It doesn't matter. Any of those people. We got to just move on. They are who they are. And you are who you are. Hey, it is what it is. I wish you life. You got to wish them life. I want you around. I need you around so you can see that what you tried to do ain't work. Because God had a plan. You had a plot. They say the devil got a plot, but God got a plan. I like that. I like that God always has a plan. Y'all, let it go. But keep your eyes on people in your family. It's the enemy is never a stranger. Nah. The enemy is people in your household. It's the people you know. The people you swear, no, they wouldn't do that. Don't put people, nobody deserves to be up here in your life. Nobody. Don't put them high. Keep people where they belong, level. Only God deserves to be up high because he would never. But people, you better keep them where they belong. The moment you put people higher than what they deserve, they already got you tricked. You already lost because you had them too high. Stop taking these titles to your head. Just because that's your mother doesn't give them the title of perfection. No. That just means that they gave birth to you. That's it. People gonna do people things. I had an associate say to me, wow, you think I would change? I said, I deal with everybody day by day. The only one I don't deal with day by day is God because he's consistent. The most consistent one in my life, in fact. But people, day by day. Any day you could switch. Any day you could show me more of who you are. And I won't be hurt or disappointed is because, hey, they even try to say, therapy. I like that I'm hyper, what they call it? Hyper vigilant. For my well-educated people out there. Y'all know exactly what it's called. I'm glad that I'm like this. I'm glad. It came from childhood trauma. And I'm glad I had this about me because I would have got tricked so many other times into relationships I had no business being in if I wasn't so hyper vigilant. You ever, for my men and women out here, you ever thought about being with somebody and you think to yourself like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get serious with this woman. I'm going to go ahead and get serious with this man. And then all of a sudden, you just step back because it wasn't right here in that gut. It wasn't feeling too good. You like, nah, I can't do this. And then you circle the block years later, not to be with them, but just to peep. Everything called you and you really see their true colors. And you could just look up to the sky and say, Lord, I thank you because you warned me. Being hypervigilant is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Good character is always going to shine bright. It's always going to shine bright. Never go against yourself for anyone. And people that's supposed to be in your life, you won't have to go against yourself for. Know that. If they're supposed to be in your life, you are not going to have to go against yourself for them. You'll be able to stand on your integrity, stand on who you are and what you believe, and still be able to flow with these people. If you have to change anything about yourself that is positive to be with these people, these are not your people. But come on, y'all. We can't let these people live rent-free in our head. Forgive them, move on. When God brings the memory back, because God can bring a memory back because he wants you to remember something. It ain't always bad. And also the enemy can bring the memory back because he wants you to fall into depression. He wants you to cling to everything else. Substances and boyfriends and girlfriends versus clinging to God. Nah, nobody lives rent free in your head. But the stranger is never outside. It's always someone you know. Thanks for tuning in with your girl, Boss Selene Neat from Ambitious Hustlers Pod. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about this video right here. Let's get it.